Hi everybody, so the kind people at Thrustmaster have sent me one of their Xbox Eswap X Pro controller, and that's what we're looking at in this video, in this kind of first impressions review. And I've got to say that this is probably one of the nicest pieces of kit that I have ever been sent and had the pleasure to use myself. Now, you may well be saying, well, a controller for an Xbox or PC, why don't you just stick with the stock ones that you get? They're very nice, aren't they? And the answer to that is generally, one of the main answers is so that you can have buttons on the underside of the controller. And the idea with that is that when you're playing first-person shooters especially, if you want to jump in the air and carry on aiming and firing at the same time, if you have buttons on the bottom of the controller, you can do that. So you can jump in the air and still change direction and fire at the same time, where normally you'd be taking your right thumb off the right stick to normally jump. And people have different ways of getting around this. You can play like claw, where you move your hands around, but one of the more common ways is to have buttons on the back. So that's a good reason to have a Pro controller to start off with. However, the Thrustmaster Eswap offers an awful lot more. And before you sort of balk at the price, because these aren't cheap, you're looking at £160 in the UK for one of these. You probably think, what? What you've got to remember is that with this particular controller, the thumbsticks and the D-pads are hot-swappable. So you can take them out and you can change them around, and you could change, say, the layout from an Xbox-type layout to more of a PlayStation-type layout if you wanted to. What that does mean is that they are replaceable. And I don't know about you, but I've been through, during the life of my PlayStation 4, for example, I've probably been through about 5 DualShock controllers. And I've probably been through a couple of Xbox controllers on my Xbox One S. And I haven't gone through my Xbox Series S controller yet. But generally for me, because I try to take care of my kit, but generally for me, it's because the thumbsticks have started to wear and you get stick drift. So with the Eswap X Pro controller, you can actually buy new thumbsticks, and they're about £18 each. So one of the ways to look at with these controllers is if you are very heavy on your sticks and your D-pads, and you tend to be destroying them an awful lot, then I'd definitely say think about it in terms of also the fact that you can change out the sticks. Now, this is also a wired only controller. You have to plug it into the USB on your computer or your Xbox console. And the reason for that, the reason why they don't bother having it as rechargeable wireless, is latency. This controller is aimed fairly and squarely at people playing first-person shooters or third-person shooters, where every millisecond of latency matters. And although you might not know, when you do play with a wireless controller, obviously you move your thumb or you press the button, and then the controller turns that into a Wi-Fi or a Bluetooth type signal. That then goes to the console, which then has to turn it back into a signal that it feeds into the game. So the more of that you can remove, the better. And with the Eswap X Pro, that is, you only have the option of a wired controller. Now, that could be a problem if you play, for example, in your lounge and your Xbox is tucked under the television and you sit quite a long way away, because you're going to have a long lead. Now, it comes with a very long lead for you to be able to do this, and it's not just a regular type USB lead. It kind of locks into the front, into the back of the controller. It's also got some other really cool features on it, in the fact that you've got volume controls on the controller, and also you've got the ability to change over the mapping as well on the controller as well. They're the buttons on the back near the headphone jack, which is all pretty good stuff. Now, I've been using this for about 2 weeks now, and I've got to say I am very, very impressed. It feels smooth, it feels good, I enjoy using it. I enjoy it better than the standard Xbox controller, and I'm looking forward to bringing you more content about this controller as I learn more about especially the customization options and playing around with things like the response curve on the sticks. But until now, this video will have to do. I'm highly impressed, and I'm really looking forward to playing more with this controller. There we go. So what do you think? Put your questions and comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe, and I will of course see you again soon.